You know, so it can be a lot of different things, to be honest with you. You know, and then when you
on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and
hey, I gotta let you go. I am getting ready to announce Carroll and Homestead. All right, thanks. Bye.
I have the ad running. You got a minute.
Okay. As soon as it's done,
Minute
we'll start.
20. Yep. Let's go live. Okay, I think click go live is main start. Maybe 2 would be preferable. 2? Yeah. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Carroll High School for tonight's high school baseball game. Once again, live here on SummitCitySports.com between the visitors on the scoreboard, the Homestead Spartans, and the home team, the Carroll Chargers. This is a rematch of a game 2 nights ago where it was a little bit of a pitcher's duel early and ended up a little bit of a slugfest towards the end when there was just one bad pitch made in the game to a real good hitter, Hayden Jones, and that turned the tide late in that game to give Carroll the victory over Homestead, 8-6. Homestead comes into this game. They're the number 13th ranked team in the state of Indiana. They're coached by Nick Bile. They're 14-5 on the season, and they're looking to avenge last Tuesday night's loss. Both of these teams getting ready for sectional play in about 2 weeks, beginning on the 14th. Tonight's starting pitcher for Homestead will be a lefty, Justin Miller. He is 2-1 on the season, 4.59 ERA. This is his 7th appearance in the season, and he's going to get the start tonight for Homestead as they travel once again here to Carroll to play. For Homestead, this is how they'll start. Leading off and playing right field, number 22, Nick Davitt. Batting second, the center fielder, number 18, Matt Anderson. Catching, number 15, Isaac Bear. At first base, number 9, Luke Wilcox. The DH today, and he will be DHing for the shortstop, Hingis. And that will be number 1, Schwartz. Playing second base, batting 6, number 3, Drew Delacusta. Batting 7th in left field, Cade Colpine. Batting in the 8th spot will be the third baseman, number 24, Brady Harkness, and the number 9 hitter, the starting pitcher, number 8, Justin Miller. So he will get the start today against Carroll. For Carroll, they are coached by Dave Gender. They are 15-3 on the season, and they come into this game with a 4-game winning streak and the number 5 ranking in the state of Indiana. Their starting lineup today. In the field, they'll start on the mound Riley Perlick. Riley Perlick, he comes into this game with a 4-1 record. I'm trying to look for his ERA is .23. So a good day pitching for Riley Perlick. And he'll have behind the plate Hayden Jones, number 24. At first base will be number 8, Parker Hale. Starting at second base, number 18, Joey Henschel. At shortstop, number 2, Langston Ginder. At third base, number 25, Jared Shirk. In center field will be number 5, Nathan Fish. He'll be joined in the outfield and left field by Blake Castetter, number 12. And in right field will be number 26, Hunter Freeman. Our last game, I was joined by Rich Dunno, the king of the hill designer. Today, I've called in a friend of mine, a DH. I don't know, were you ever the DH?
I was DH once or twice, yeah.
Joining me today is former Major League player with the Minnesota Twins, the Boston Red Sox, and the San Francisco Giants, Dustin Moore. Good evening, Dustin, and welcome to what's turned out to be a pretty nice day, about 60 degrees here at game time.
It has turned into be a nice day. I was a little concerned earlier, but it looks good. The field looks great. These teams, it's going to be a good matchup. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, we've got last game, it was just I think Carroll's ability to overcome the errors that they had early with the power that they possessed in their lineup. And their third baseman, Shirk, he hit a home run over the left field fence. And then at the end of the game, it was Hayden Jones, who has been on fire the entire season and continued his hot hitting. And he hit a 3-run home run to give Carroll the eventual lead and the win over Homestead 8-6. So look to see what kind of pitching both teams want to employ. They threw a lot of off speed. I don't know if that'll be the same tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, the Hayden Jones hitting 561 on the year, I'd say he's the guy I would want up if I'm Carroll in the end. But, you know, we'll see how. I'm looking forward to seeing what their plan of attack is. I mean, he's certainly Carroll's main guy on offense, and I'm sure that Justin Miller's going to want to be real careful with him. And it sounds like it's going to be looks to be a good pitching duel tonight.
Absolutely, a nice left-handed versus right-handed matchup, as Riley Perlick will get on the mound with just a .23 ERA. So not many people getting on base against him. Both teams pretty good in the field. The couple errors in the last game really hurt Carroll more than it hurt Homestead. And if they can shore up that defense, this will be a quick game, because both of these pitchers, if they can stay in their groove, it'll be very difficult for these hitters. With Justin Miller being a lefty, and you actually witnessed him pitch quite a bit last year, is the fact that when his slider is working and he's just pounding the plate, he's very difficult to hit.
Yeah, you know, I think another thing, he's got a really good breaking pitch. I mean, it's got good spin rate on it, and it's tight and sharp. I think one of the other things that makes Justin effective, it's kind of good and bad really, is that he has a tendency to walk some players, which means he's not, just a guy that fills up the zone, and sometimes that can be trouble for a hitter, because you're not really sure when to, if he's going to be around the zone and you want to swing. So, the defense is key really for both teams. It usually is. As long as if they can play good defense, I wouldn't expect a lot of runs to be scored in this one.
Absolutely not. I think I agree with you on that. Both teams know each other so well. This was the third matchup and the rubber matchup, as Homestead won the first game and Carroll won the second game. So this is a rubber match, and the last time they could potentially meet, or this is the last time they'll meet in regular season. The next time would be in the regional, which they would have to potentially face each other down the road. For Carroll, they will go to the DeKalb sectional the week of the 24th, and they will play in Game 2 DeKalb, and then in Game 1 before that, and it'll actually be a couple days ahead of that, will be Snyder versus Northrop, and then Carroll DeKalb will come next a day later, and then the winner of Snyder Northrop will play East Noble, and then the winner of that game will play the winner of Carroll and DeKalb. So a pretty tough sectional at DeKalb this year for those 5 teams. Have you got to see any of those teams? I know you got to see Northrop and Snyder play.
I've seen all of the Northrop-Snyder games, and I'll tell you that Game 1 of the sectionals there, that's going to be a good one, because they know each other pretty well. And I would look for Garrett Shanley to throw again, and that'll be the third time Snyder's seen him. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it was a great game down at the stadium at Tin Caps Field, a 9-inning affair with several runs scored in the last inning. So that'll be a good one. I haven't seen the other one play yet.
And for Homestead, they will move on to the Huntington North sectional, and in game 1, it'll be Wayne versus Northside on the 24th, and then on the 25th, it will be Homestead versus Southside. The winner of Wayne Northside will play Huntington North, and then the winner of Homestead and Southside will advance to the championship, and they will play Huntington North at the Huntington North sectional, and then if it would be these two teams, they would meet up in regional. We're getting ready for our national anthem. We'll take a quick time out here on Summit City Sports, and we'll be right back with live action.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionists, the expert physicians at O&E, the area's only specialized athletic rehab, and the region's industry leader in sports performance, AWP. The roster coordinates your care in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in your community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
And there's our national anthem, and we are ready for baseball. Riley Perlica will get on the mound here shortly, and he will start his warm-up pitches as Homestead will try to win the rubber match today on the road against Carroll. Riley Perlica, big dude on the mound, an imposing figure. He's a heck of a basketball player on the court, and tonight he gets the start on the mound for the Carroll Chargers. He's got Shirk at third, Langston Ginder at short. At first, Parker Hale getting a start tonight. He was not in the lineup last time, so he'll get the start over there. And so a little bit different lineup tonight for Carroll opposed to the other day. Today, starting at shortstop for Homestead, they have a new guy because one of their players is out of town due to a death in the family. So they got a new shortstop over, the Nora Lysing, out of the game today. And Hingus will play short, but he'll be DH today by Ben Schwartz. So a little bit different lineups, a little different look for each team. Well, both teams, Dustin, last game, the teams really put together like lefties with lefties. There was no lefty-righty matchups, and we'll see if they change that up today.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, what the game plan going to be. This is it's a pretty big game for both of these clubs. So when you see each other that much, you got to change some things up. Sometimes just throw the other team off a little bit. So the matchups will be interesting to see.
And we are ready for live baseball here on Summit City Sports. Riley Perlick is done with his warm-up pitches, and the leadoff batter is now up, and that is Nick Davitt. He's up to bat. That's number 22. He comes into this game with a 178 average, and he'll look to lead off today, a speedy outfielder for the Homestead Spartans. Hayden Jones behind the plate for Carroll, and he's a tough guy to run on, Dustin.
Yeah, he's got an absolute cannon back there. He's definitely by himself, can shut down the running game.
Yeah, I actually saw Mac Hippenhammer for Snyder actually get a really good lead against him and get thrown out. Matt Anderson as well got a pretty good lead and got thrown out as well. And the count now even 1-1 on the called strike on Davitt. Perlick in the windup. Comes home, another strike on the outer half. Last game's starters, we had Zach Parisi. He started for Homestead, and Levemoff, he pitched for Carroll, and there's a curveball in the dirt. And the count all even at 2. Homestead dressed in their all blues today with gray pants. Carroll in their home whites. And there's a swing and a foul ball.
I tell you, Parisi looks good so far. He looks comfortable. He's got good command of his fastball. See if he can get some of those off-speed pitches over, start getting them over the plate for strikes, and Homestead's going to have a tough night.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a ball up and full count now. Perlick goes full count on the first batter. Riley Perlick in their last meeting, he played first base. Here's the 3-2, and it's a high pitch, and Davitt swings at it and strikes out. And that is the first out of the inning for Homestead, and that'll bring up their center fielder, number 18, Matt Anderson.
Now batting is the center fielder.
Matt Anderson that comes into this game batting .400 on the season. And if I'm the third baseman, Shirk, I am getting ready because the last game he hit a rocket at him, and it was self-defense, and he caught the ball. So here's the windup and the pitch, and then up a little high to Anderson for ball one.
Yeah, Matt's a big, strong kid, and he's got some speed too. So the third baseman's kind of caught in between. He could lay one down, and he can also smash one down there too.
And he'll ask for time and get it. Oddly enough, the first hit in the last game came on a bunt by Ben Schwartz when he got up to bat a lefty for Homestead. Caught everybody sleeping. And there's a nice off-speed pitch in there for a swing and a miss. And the count now even at 1-1.
Yep.
Here's the pitch. And that's a strike right about just below the numbers there. And a slider in the dirt for ball two. Count now even 2-2 with one out here in the top of the first inning from Carroll High School. There's a swing and a miss and another strikeout as Perlick decides to go upstairs on the batter Anderson.
That's two in a row. He's gotten him up in the zone a little bit. Looks like he appears to be throwing pretty well in terms of his velocity and working both sides of the plate. So we'll see how these Homestead hitters make their adjustments as the game goes along.
Yeah, it was a big difference in the last game. Now batting number 15, Isaac Bear. He comes in the game batting .404 on the season. And he'll swing and miss at the first pitch. Fastball right down the middle, a swing and a miss.
Hey, this game, these two teams, their catchers are their thunder and their lightning here.
Yep, exactly.
On their team, so it should be a good who can outdo the other.
He took a little something off of that, and it goes into left field. And let's see if Bear tries to leg this out for a double, but he is a catcher. And so he'll take a single with that one.
He was just out in front of that, too. Boy, that was close to maybe finding its way to the parking lot, Ryan.
Yeah, no kidding. Just a bit. And we'll have a courtesy runner. Runner will come in. That'll be number 11, Malik Wurgis. You got to be aware of Malik Wurgis. He can run a little bit. So now comes up Luke Wilcox, the first baseman. He's batting .217 on the season. First time he's going to get the chance to pitch to a lefty here. Here's a delivery. Swung on and hit into shallow left field. Three guys converging on it. And Castaner will make the catch, and that will be the inning as Wilcox flies out to left field. And that will do it for Homestead. In the top of the first, they got no runs, one hit, and one man left on base. And we'll move to the bottom of the first inning here. We'll only take breaks at the bottom of the inning. So, Dustin, while I got you here, I've been having a big discussion with a couple parents on my 15U team, Jed Dunham's dad.
Oh, yeah.
And his question to you tonight is, what do you consider a quality at bat?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's the question.
I think, first of all, let me say, I think there is a misconception when it comes to the perception of what a quality at bat is. I think, for instance, you can strike out and have a quality at bat.
Exactly.
There are so many variables that you can't control as a hitter, but what you can control is whether or not you have a plan and your selection of pitches that you swing at. For me, a quality at bat is knowing what the situation is, and in terms of if a guy's just thrown 4 pitches or 4 or 5 balls in a row, you shouldn't be swinging at that first pitch coming up. So, you go up there with a plan and you play according to the scoreboard, be a good situational hitter. That to me is a quality at bat. I mean, you hit the ball hard, make an out. You made an out. You did what you're supposed to do. But once that ball leaves your bat, it's out of your hands. So, a good plan, good swings, good selection of pitches that you swing at. Or in some cases, if you have to get a guy over or a hit and run or whatever that may be, those are quality at bats in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was kind of the discussion we had. And I said, well, my first question was, how did you get to that point in that at bat? Did you swing at 2 balls that were not strikes early,
often,
and then you got that? How did you get there too? But the situation, I think, really determines.
Well, you do see a lot of hitters that maybe they get. Yeah. They take one for a 3rd strike that's a little off the plate, and my question to them is always, well, what about the first 2 that you missed?
Exactly.
So it's not always the umpire's fault, but for me it's real set. The scoreboard always dictates what your plan should be, whether it's on offense, defense, or base running. It's a pretty simple way to look at it, and if you think about it. It always tells you what you need to do in that particular situation.
Absolutely, and now it looks like Justin Miller's done with his warm-up pitches. Justin Miller comes into this game with a 2-1 record. This is his 7th appearance. He's got a 4.59 ERA, and he'll face right off the bat Langston Ginder. Ginder comes into this game with a 4.72 average. This is the guy you want to keep off the bases, and there's a first pitch strike right at the knees. And that's the spot that Justin Miller needs to be at to be effective.
Yeah, that certainly does help him out. Justin typically comes out very strong. It's usually around that 4th, 3rd, 3 to 5 innings where, sometimes he can start losing his control a little bit. But generally he comes out of the gates pretty quick. And so far he looks pretty good in these first 2 pitches.
So Miller in the windup. Here's the delivery. And he goes up and about hit Langston Ginder, and it'll be 2-1 here. Justin not afraid to pitch inside.
No, Justin's not really afraid of much of anything, to be honest with you. He's a great competitor. He's the type of guy that certainly any coach would love to have on their team.
Yeah, and he's being recruited, and that's a good thing for him. He hit the camp circuit real well at the fall last year, and he's got quite a few teams that have been out taking a look at him, and then he taking a look at them, and there's a line drive into the left center field gap. It'll drop, and Ginder will stand up double. Yep.
Well, could have been a stand up double. He chose to get his pants dirty, which I can appreciate.
That's right.
I always hated to leave a game with a clean uniform. So good for Langston Ginder. Get a slide in.
So on a 2-2 count, he hits a line drive into the left center field gap and ends up with a double, and that'll bring up Hayden Jones, just a junior, a Mississippi State recruit. And here's the first pitch out of the stretch, and he'll hit it on the ground to the shortstop, and he'll field it and throw to first in time, and Hayden Jones is retired.
Well, I tell you what, that's a good at bat right there. No outs, man on second. He did what he had to do to get him to third base, and for a guy like Hayden, who hitting 561 and he's got a lot of power. It's good to see him take into account the situation and do his job.
Now batting Riley Perlich, the pitcher. He comes into the game batting 269, and he fouls the ball off for the first strike. So Carroll got a little something going here in the bottom of the first inning with Langston Ginder right in front of us, talking to his father Dave, letting him know what to do on this. I'm sure and there's a curveball, a little late on that. Another foul ball. The 3 games I've got to see Riley hit in the games, that seems to be a tad bit one of his weaknesses is picking up the slider early. Or, if it's a good pitcher, that's hard to do anyways, let alone at any time in your at bat. So see if they go back with some soft stuff here or if they go hard and away. Isaac Bear, he put the fingers down, and now the pitch, and here it comes, and it's a fastball up and away. Outfield playing him pretty much straight up here with 2 strikes. I know that's your specialty, Dustin. You love the outfielders.
I do. I like defense in general, but outfield, yeah. I took a lot of pride in in the defense, to me it was, you've heard me say it a million times. To me, it's, you're going to play defense 7 times. You're only going to hit 3, maybe 4. And so, to me, the one that you do the most is the most important. So, I like to see guys take pride in what they're doing out there and not just be consumed with wanting to hit and, hit bombs.
Right, absolutely. So Riley Perlich, after falling behind 0-2, now has got the count to full count. They've gone 2 straight off-speed pitches to him. See if they stick with that or if they come with a fastball. No, they go with another slider, and it's hit into left field, and that'll bring the run home. So Perlich with a line drive to left, and that brings in the runner Langston Ginder, and Carroll out to a 1-0 lead.
I tell you, it appears that, Justin having a little bit of trouble getting his off speed over for a strike, and Carroll appears to realize that and sort of just jumping on the fastball, not really worrying much about it. So we'll see if Justin can get his feel with the off speed stuff and maybe slow down this attack here in the first inning.
That'll bring up Jared Shirk. He hit a home run in the last game, and there's another curveball down and in for a ball, and we have a courtesy runner on for Riley Perlich, and that is Austin Kressel. So Austin Kressel knows Justin Miller's pickoff moves quite well since they trained together in the winter. And here's the pitch, and it's up, and Bear will snap throw to first, and Kressel back in there safely.
He should know his pickoff move.
Exactly.
But let's just say Austin is he's an aggressive type base runner, which you can appreciate, but we'll see what if he gets a jump here.
And there's a called strike. 2-1 count now on Jared Shirk, who hit a ball last game. Didn't square it up real well, but he did hit it hard enough, and it went right over the Fort Wayne Orthopedic sign in left field. Miller delivers. He throws a fastball, and Shirk a little bit late on that. That's a foul ball. Jared Shirk batting .365 on the season with 13 RBIs and 2 home runs.
I tell you, to me, this order has all come up this inning, and it's given Justin some trouble so far.
Miller now, he'll come home with it. Throws a fastball. It's hit into right field, and that'll be in there for a single. And Austin Kressel comes around to the ball's missed in right field.
Tried to barehand it, Deli.
Sure did. It was still rolling, and that allowed the runner to move all the way to third base. I'm not sure if he wasn't coming all the way to third base anyways.
Well, I think he was. That's a big no-no, in my opinion, in the outfield. You have a glove on, and if you're in the outfield, you only be barehanding balls. I think he just got a little ahead of himself and wanted to throw him out at third, but, I'm not sure that he would have had to play. That ball wasn't hit all that hard, and he had a pretty good jump on it.
Now Hunter Freeman, he'll bat. The runner's at first and third. And he tries to bunt it, and he bunts it foul. I couldn't see the vantage point here. Was the runner coming home on that, or was that a safety squeeze?
No, it appeared to be a safety squeeze, Ryan. He didn't take off right away, so I was kind of surprised by that call too. I'm sure Homestead's.
Brady Hartness, he's the third baseman now. He has moved up. So Hartness moves up. He'll follow the runner, first and third, 1 out. And there's a swing and a miss. Justin with a little high heat that time, up and away. And Hunter Freeman missed it. On deck, you've got Blake Castetter. 0-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. He'll go slider. It's up and away.
Yeah.
Actually, a pretty good pitch here. Change the eye level a little bit is a good idea. He hasn't done that much, and that time he went up.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally, that's the game within the game. You like to try to do that, and I think Justin's trying to find his zone here and get a feel for getting into, trying to get into a groove and hopefully just minimize damage, as they say here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if get your pitcher's best friend a double play here, you're right out of this inning with 1 run and nothing hurt, because I don't think 1 run's going to win this game, to be quite honest with you. Here's the delivery. Swung on him, fouled straight back.
Carroll so far taking good aggressive swings, all of them, even if they've been a little bit late at times. Their swings have been very aggressive. They seem to be pretty comfortable in the box.
Yeah, no, there's just no weak out in their lineup. You know, they're all good quality hitters. They know the situation, and they do their job. And there's a curveball. Slider in there for strike 3, a swing and a miss. And that'll bring up Blake Castetter, the left fielder.
Yeah, that's a reflection of their head coach.
Absolutely.
Dave Ginder's is a quality coach, and you know, he knows how to teach the game well, and it appears that his team is following their leader and playing the game the way that it's supposed to be played.
And that, you know, that's why they have 2 state championships.
That's that always helps. That was a big strikeout for Justin last hitter.
Yeah, confidence builder right there with Castetter stepping in. Blake Castetter batting .333 on the season. Here's a pitch and a swing and foul ball. They're right on his pitches.
Yeah, that's what they're good aggressive swings. They don't seem to be having a lot of trouble picking him up to this point. I think really it's just a matter of if he can find a way to get that breaking ball over for a strike, that'll give him something else to think about, really.
Dangerous pickoff move right there with 2 outs.
Dangerous, but you know, Justin's thrown a lot of pitches here in the first inning, and with the new pitch count rules, you know, maybe sometimes you try to help him out and get an out where you didn't have to throw a pitch. So not something that I would typically condone.
There's a nice slow slider, and he got him on that one, and that'll do it for Carroll in the bottom half of the first inning. Carroll gets 1 run on 3 hits, and they're 1 error and 2 left on base. That'll do it here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll take a quick time out here from Carroll Field. You're watching live high school baseball on SummitCitySports.com.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
And we're back live here at Carroll High School, where Carroll leads after 1 inning 1-0 over Homestead as they get 3 hits in that inning. And that all started with Langston Ginder hitting a double into the left center field gap, and he set the table. They got the run in, and now they lead by 1. Riley Perlich finishing up his warm-ups here, and there's a throw down. Boy, if you're the pitcher, you might want to get out of the way there with Hayden Jones throwing down to second base, and he threw a rocket, and if you're not out of the way, you're going to get hurt.
Well, I mean, that was so low. I think he about knocked the rubber off the pitcher's mound there. So
he sure did.
He might have slipped on home plate on that one.
Leading off now will be the DH, Ben Schwartz. Excuse me, that's Zach Schwartz. Batting .220 on the season. He bunted in the last game, caught everybody sleeping. And there's a called first strike. Third baseman played back, and he dropped one down the third baseline for the first hit of the game in Tuesday night. And here's Perlich in the windup. And a swing and a miss by Schwartz. Quickly, he's down 0-2 to Perlich. Yeah, you look at the outfield. They have shaded. They're shading opposite field with Perlich pitching big time now. And that one's coming right at us. Yeah, you had me right. We got an outfielder sitting next to us. He was going to catch it.
Oh, I would have jumped right across and got that one, man. Right across. Yeah, I think, you know, one of the things about playing outfield is if you read the hitter's swing, a lot of times will tell you. A lot of times reading the hitter's swing will tell you, you know, kind of where he's going to hit it and how he's going to hit it when he does. So he appears to be a little bit late to this point in the at-bat, and so the outfielders have adjusted accordingly.
That's a pretty good slider right there, a little bit down. Count now 2-2 on Schwartz. He'll go fastball away again, and from 0-2 to full count, and that's why coaches have gray hair, Dustin.
That's why I have no hair right there, watching that kind of thing. But we'll see what happens here on the payoff pitch.
And he goes down and in, and Schwartz works a walk, so that's a good quality at bat right there by Zach Schwartz, and that will bring up Drew Delacusta, the second baseman, number 3. So a leadoff batter on. See if Homestead tries to go a sack bunt here. The issue is it's hard to go hit and run against Carroll because if you don't hit it, you're going to get thrown out.
You're going to get thrown out. But the other thing is they, as a team, they only allow 1.46 runs a game. So even though it's early in the game, it might be a good time to try to see if you can't get in position to scratch one out.
Yeah, need a interesting no bunt attempt there. It was a high pitch. Ball one. Perlick in the stretch. He kicks and winds and goes high again. And Hayden Jones, he'll quickly run out there and talk to his, I think Riley Perlick's a pretty big guy, probably about 6'5". Good-sized kid, plays in the post on the basketball team here at Carroll High School. Good athlete. Younger brother, a good athlete. Dad was a good athlete, so it runs in the family, in the Perlick family.
That'd be a good problem to have. I mean, as you well know, you're about 6'12" yourself, aren't you, and everybody else in your family?
Yeah, they're all fairly tall at my house, and they eat a lot. And he takes a little something off that, and that's a called strike. 2-1 now on Delacusta. We're just ready for all of them to be gone.
What?
2 more years. 2 more years.
Save a little money for all the food they eat and put you on a vacation.
Right on. And here's the pitch. It swung on, hit it towards the pitcher. Perlick gets it. Now he loses it, picks it up, throws it to first. So Delacusta does his job there.
Yeah, no, he got fisted right there and sawed off a little bit past the pitcher. But to me, that's a good at bat. I mean, he got the guy to second base with less than 2 outs, and so that worked out pretty good for him.
Now bring up the left fielder, Cade Colpine, just a sophomore. Cade getting a chance to play more varsity this year than last year. Colpine batting .280, started off hot this year, is still hitting the ball quite well. Is finally getting used to a varsity pitching. And he swings and hits a line drive, and here comes another one right at us.
I could have put my hand out the window and caught that one, I think. But
I'm sure our cameraman out there, Jeff Mahoney, he was probably ready to catch it for sure. So 0-1 now to Kate Colpine as we've had a couple line drives hit at us up here in the booth. Colpine will call timeout. I'm sure Perlick and Hayden Jones were on the same page there. Yeah, and they got the second baseman holding here, and they're playing everybody not to pull on Perlick right now. And there's an off-speed pitch in there for a called strike, and quickly 0-2 on Cade Colpine. Schwartz at second base, he got there via a walk, and then a little dribbler between first and second got him over to second base, and he's in scoring position now. Here's the payoff pitch and a changeup there by Perlick.
That was a very good sequence of pitches right there. I'll tell you, so far, that's really the difference. And the way in my opinion, is that Perlick's he's throwing his off speed for a strike, whereas Miller's not. And you can see that Homestead's not having quite the same aggressive swings as what Carroll's having.
Yeah, and that talk by Hayden Jones when he went out and talked to him, settled him down a little bit, and he's thrown quite well since that time. So now Brady Harkness playing third base today. Perlick delivers, goes fastball up and away, and it's 2-0. Just when I said he's calmed down, he goes 2-0 quickly. Harkness batting .462 on the season. A little bit of pop down here in the bottom of the lineup. Here's the pitch. Took a little bit off of that again, too. And that's a called strike. 2-1. Pitch. Good pitch right there, Dustin.
And I'll tell you what, good command down at the knees on the outside part of the plate, and just took the advantage completely away from the hitter the last 2 pitches. Now instead of 2-0, and it's 2-2.
He goes slider, and it's away, and that's a full count now to Harkness with Justin Miller on deck, the pitcher for Homestead. having Miller in the 9 hole is a nice spot because that's basically another leadoff hitter in your lineup.
Yeah, he has experience leading off as
Yeah.
he did last summer on his travel team. He can turn the lineup over, so it's definitely a good spot to have him. I'll tell you, his fastball, when he's getting his off speed over like that, and then he throws pretty hard. I don't know how hard he's throwing, but looks to be throwing pretty hard. It's effective. They don't look comfortable, and so far Homestead doesn't, and they certainly haven't had. I can't really think of. Well, maybe they one aggressive swing from Bear, who got the hit. So so far, Perlick went in the pitching duel.
Yeah, so no runs, no hits, 1 left on, and we'll move to the bottom of the first inning here at Carroll High School. So I'll put you on the spot again.
Please do.
Yeah. And one of the other questions we've been having in our little discussion group lately is about the mental side of hitting.
Right.
And I know I suggested to him maybe checking out Steve Springer's CD collection on the mental side of hitting. And I think that if you're super confident, you're a great hitter, typically.
Well, you're certainly going to have a better chance. I mean, you think about it, a great hitter makes an out 70% of the time. So this is something I talk about all the time. A lot of guys, you'll see them that get in there and they take a lot of physical reps, hitting off a tee or soft toss or live pitching. And, I think, I'm not sure how often they spend time on their mental game. A lot of times I think you see guys go up there and have a bad at bat just simply because they didn't have a plan at all. Even if you have the wrong plan, just having a plan at all is better than being wrong. So certainly something I would like to see more young players spend more time on.
Joey Henschel, he'll lead off. He'll hit one right back to the pitcher, Justin Miller. He'll field it, throw it to first, and
that's big for Justin Miller right
there
is. After throwing a lot of pitches in the first inning, 1 pitch, 1 out. So, going back to the quality at bat, I know they're in high school, but that's one of the things I think you got to realize is that, he's been a little all over the place so far, and to go up there and swing at the first pitch lead off an inning might not have been the best plan.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. And that was Parker Hill tries to bunt, so he got the start at first base, and that you coached with me last year. That's one of the things I actually hate is the guy going up and swinging at the first pitch, especially after your pitcher may stand out there for a while.
Yeah, it's just, it seems like if you're paying attention and you understand the nuances of the game and what you're trying to do, and usually your starter is one of the better pitchers, and you want to get him out of the game. So the more pitches you can make him throw, the quicker you get to the bullpen. Generally, you're going to have your percentages are going to be in your favor in terms of having better offense for that game.
It can be different at different times in the game as well. If you're 3-4 hitters coming up, they may, and you know this, you were in the big leagues, they may only see 1 good pitch.
True.
You were played with Barry Bonds, so all too well that you might only get 1 good pitch.
Well, sometimes he wouldn't even get 1 in a game. But again, it's just being aware of the situation and kind of what's going on. I think that they're not really too young to be exposed to that type of thought process. Is just if the guy's having trouble throwing strikes, I mean, he's probably not a guy you want to go up there and swing early on if you don't really have to. Unlike let's say a guy like David Wells, who pitched many years in the big leagues. I know it was almost the end of July one year, and he only had 3 walks on the season.
Holy cow!
So you're facing a guy like that. That's where you want to be aggressive and go up there with a plan to be aggressive early, because he's going to throw strikes. He doesn't want to walk you, but here probably not the best idea.
Right, and quickly we got a 2-2 count here on Nate Fish, the number 9 hitter, and there's a called third strike in there for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. No hits, no runs, no one left on base, and we'll take a timeout here at Carroll High School with the score 1-0. You're watching live high school baseball on SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutrition.
Top of their lineup. It just isn't.
No, I don't imagine it would. I wouldn't want to face him. No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Do a slow pace in 15 seconds.
But he minimized. It could have been worse, I thought. They could have had more runs.
Fast stop. All right, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back live here at Carroll High School with the score 1-0 after 2 innings. Carroll leads Homestead. Perlick now finishing up his warm-up pitches. And let's see, Justin Miller will lead off here for Homestead.
It's a nice comeback inning right there for Justin Miller. A good quick inning after kind of a rocky first inning. So
a little better control.
A lot better control, a little smoother in his delivery. We'll see if he's excited about that now and see if he can get something going for his Homestead Spartans here in the top half of the third inning.
Yeah, he's batting .273 on the season. Generally, if he's not pitching, he does get a chance to play in the outfield. So here's the first pitch, and that's a ball a little bit outside. Perlick now, he's up to 36 pitches, so he's doing a nice job with his pitch count here early in the game. His second one is a ball high, 2-0 to the leadoff batter. I know you see the same thing I'm seeing there. It's stuff we tried to work on last year with the young fellow Justin Miller, and here's a one, and he'll swing and pop it down the left field line, and it'll go out of play, and it'll be 2-1 to Justin Miller.
Yeah, right. Mechanically as a hitter, he kind of gets out. He kind of goes at the ball, instead of letting it come to him. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. But lays one down right there, and bad spot right back to the pitcher. But that's really his game, Deli. Is if he could develop or learn to bunt for hit to both sides of the field, he would really be a thorn in the opponent's side. If he can figure that out. But right there, just unfortunately, he hit it right back to the pitcher.
Yeah, he actually had it. Looked like he had it timed up pretty good. He just didn't get the right angle on the bat. And that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Nick Davitt. He's batting in the top of the lineup today. Last game he was down on the bottom. And he'll take ball one. He's replacing Noah Lysing as the leadoff hitter today. Perlick delivers again, both times 2-0 on the batter, and he's been able to come back at least with Justin Miller and get him out. So we'll see what he can do here to Davitt. Davitt, pretty fast runner.
Yeah, he looks pretty comfortable at the plate too. So we'll see what happens. 3-0. I would bet that he doesn't swing at this pitch. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure Coach Bile just gave him the take sign because I'm pretty sure it's the same as the one that I've used for numerous years, and he evidently did. So there's a take sign given to Davitt, and he takes it. 3-1 count now on the leadoff hitter for Homestead.
Really good swing right there, just a little bit late.
And I tell you, I talk about this with Rich Dunno. If your out pitch is your fastball in high school baseball, you're probably going to be pretty effective.
Absolutely. Well, anywhere. To be honest with you, unless you're a knuckleballer, you're going to throw your fastball the majority of the time. I think all too often young players spend too much time trying to develop off-speed pitches, but they haven't established or developed command or established command of their fastball. So far, Perlick has looked pretty good with that.
And now he'll face Matt Anderson. Anderson playing center field today for Homestead. In college, he's actually going to play football at the Air Force Academy. He takes an inside fastball, and now he's ahead 2-0.
Beautiful place out there.
Oh,
Colorado
absolutely.
Springs. Unbelievable.
We went there about middle of March, and we left Denver. It was 72 degrees and sunny and beautiful. We drove down to Colorado Springs, and we had to turn around and leave because they were having a blizzard.
That's right. I lived in Denver for 4 years, and it is a little bit different. Colorado Springs is actually 1,000 feet higher than Denver, so sometimes the weather can be completely opposite.
Yep, so we turned around as we got to the Air Force Academy, and they said, hey, we're having a blizzard, get out of here. And we turned around and went home back to Denver, and it was nice and sunny and warm. And Anderson will draw a walk, and that'll bring up Isaac Bear. So good at bat there by Matt Anderson. That's the guy you want to keep off the base, because if you hit it in the gap, he's going to be able to get around those bases in a hurry. At 6'3", he can run.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right. If Bear if he can get one in the gaps, I would look for them to try to score.
Absolutely, he is fast and he's a real good base runner. So with 2 outs, 1 on here at first base, that's Anderson, and at bat, Isaac Bear with the only hit thus far for the Homestead Spartans.
Isaac's a big kid, isn't he?
Sure is. He's always been big. A good stocky built kid.
That's why I meant muscular.
Always been a good stocky built kid.
Looks like a catcher.
He definitely looks like a catcher. Here's the 1-0. And he swings on and skies one.
No, he just missed it, really.
Anderson, he'll get all the way to third. That ball still hasn't come down yet, and there it comes down. I wonder what the hang time was on that.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see him be able to straighten that one out. I mean, he just missed it. It was a good swing, but round ball, round bat.
Yep, exactly.
Sometimes it's just centimeters make all the difference.
So no runs, no hits, 1 man left on base for Homestead, and we'll go to the bottom of the third inning with Homestead trailing Carroll 1-0. This is always a good time of the game when I have these breaks in between innings when we're not at commercial, and then I get to ask my guests all these questions that everybody wants to know.
I love them.
And I know that last year when we coached together, at times it was frustrating, not for you, only for you, but for me, with what we had going on with our team, having a bunch of different type of attitudes and different characters on the team.
Yep.
And there's always things that these kids need to work on to play at the next level. And if there was one thing you saw last year or even this year in the games, what is that one thing? It could be mentally, it could be how you are in the dugout, it could be what you do on the field.
That's a great question. I'll tell you, really kind of 2 answers to me. Number one is what we talked about previously, is work more on the mental side of the game. But 2, the biggest thing that I see watching all these high school games is I would like to see the players be a little more instinctual in their play and not rely solely on instruction from their coach.
Absolutely.
Obviously there's times when when you run the bases where you want to pick up your third base coach is really from back in the right field corner. But outside of that, I'd like to see them just play, play with some instincts and not be so worried about making a mistake.
Right, I agree.
If it's a mental mistake, those can be tough. But if it's just maybe you're being over aggressive or you just made the wrong play, those are a little easier to live with, I think.
Yeah, I would say that's the one thing I've seen in Langston Ginder. The leadoff batter takes a curveball in for strike 1. I'm not sure he liked that. Kind of got out of the way of it there. But so 0-1 is the count. He kind of looked back. He just shook his head and said, "All right, I guess that's why I get 3 strikes in this game."
Well, I think that's what we used to call being put in the seat belt. That was a good curveball right there. It kind of misread it and backed out of there and broke right over the middle. So it was probably a little more embarrassment than
exactly
than arguing with the call.
He might have been just mad at himself, saying, "Well, that was a good pitch."
Sometimes you got to laugh. I had, Pedro Martinez struck me out with a curveball one time. One of the few times he got me out. Let me get that in there.
Well, that's good.
But it was very good, and all I could do was laugh. And then, of course, he's looking at me and laughing, and it was a pretty funny little moment. But I was definitely in the seatbelt on that one.
And Ginder will swing at a ball that hits the dirt, and it's a drop third strike, and he runs to first, and Bear will throw him out. And that'll bring up Hayden Jones. His last at bat, he had a nice bat, hit a pretty hard ball over to the shortstop that moved the runner over the eventual run that they got. So Hayden Jones now up, and he was pretty tough in the last game, 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. And he'll get a curveball right there to start. Little slider right at the knees, and that's a called strike on Hayden Jones, and he's probably going to get a steady dose of those.
I would say so. But, we like I said, we coached together, and we played the number 1 team in the country last summer, East Cobb Astros, and Justin pitched, and that last curveball at the knees, like he was, that's how he threw the whole game. And
You're
that was
right.
Incredible. And when he's got that going, he's tough on anybody.
And he'll go fastball away, and that game last when he pitched against the East Cobb Astros, that game was over. It's so fast. Hour and 9 minutes, a full 7-inning game. It was one of the depressing. We lost, But just an unbelievable job there. But now Justin throws another nice slider. I think he's found his groove.
He has. He looks to have settled in, and he's kind of, he's slowed down a little bit and smoothed out his mechanics, and you see they're starting to chase that curveball a little bit more. So, if he can keep that going and they can scratch a run out to tie this thing up, we might have something good going here.
So now that brings up Riley Perlick, the pitcher. He singled in his last at bat, and now he gets a slider in there for a called strike. So Justin's got a good feel for that now.
He has, starting to lead off with it. Early on, he was leading off with fastballs, and now he's got the feel for that curveball, so he's going to use it.
And he works at a pretty good pace. You get those pitchers out there that take so long between pitches. He's not one of those guys. He gets the ball, walks back to the rubber, turns around, gets a sign, and throws. Yeah,
and that's always, when you're playing defense behind a guy like that is always a lot better because, there's not a lot of standing around, and you got to be ready to go. Sometimes it can get a little, boring or monotonous being on defense all the time, but working at a good pace, and I like to see guys do that.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Here comes another one. Come on, camera. Yep, that might have got Mahoney that time, our cameraman. Might have to take an ice pack out there to him. He's been pretty busy with balls coming his way. There's another curveball in the dirt, swung on. Bear will jump up, field it, throw to first, and 3 strikeouts in 1 inning for Justin Miller, and that will do it for Carroll in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They'll get no runs and no hits, nobody left on base, and they lead. Carroll leads 1-0 over Homestead. We'll take a quick timeout here on SummitCitySports.com.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at Parkview Mom.
And after 3 straight strikeouts by Justin Miller in that bottom half of the 3rd inning, we're back here live at Carroll High School, where Carroll leads 1-0 over Homestead. And you were mentioning something in the break there. That's the first time you've ever seen 3 drop strikes, third strikes in a game, and all 3 of them be thrown out.
Honestly, I've never seen that before, where all 3 outs were, swing at a pitch in the dirt, and the catcher has to throw them out at first. And, kudos to Bear for throwing strikes down there on all of them. Quite an inning for Justin Miller. Has really settled into this game here. So if they get something going on offense, Homestead appears to be in a pretty good position.
And that'll bring up Luke Wilcox. He'll take the first pitch away. He's playing first base today. Riley Perlick tends to pitch from behind quite a bit. Eventually that'll come back to bite you, and there he'll even it up at 1-1 with a strike on the outer half. And Wilcox will hit it down the third baseline and quickly called foul by our umpire behind the plate, Jamie Gagline.
Yep, I'm with him.
So foul ball there, 1-2 on Wilcox. And Perlick really hasn't used his slider to strike people out. He's used the gas.
He has. He's kind of mixed in the slider just to kind of slow him down a little bit so he can get him out with that fastball.
And there's a tough one, but a good fielding play. And I don't know if he's off the base. They say he got him out with the tag. And that'll do it for Wilcox as he hits a little dribbler down the third base side between the pitcher and the third baseman, and Perlick picks it up and throws it over there and gets the batter out.
I'll tell you what, showed some athleticism right there for a 6'5" kid to bounce off the mound. That wasn't necessarily close to the mound. That was a good play all the way around.
Yep, and that'll bring up Zach Schwartz. Schwartz swings and fouls one over to the third base dugout side.
Boy, he's really got him sort of cheating to that fastball here early, doesn't he?
Sure does. And then in the pitch that Wilcox just hit was an off-speed pitch, and there's another one. Hit it down the first baseline for a foul ball. Parker Carroll fields it and throws it back into his pitcher, Riley Perlick.
Pretty impressed with how they're using Perlick right now in terms of their calling pitches. I mean, they're really You know, they're pitching off of this fastball really well so far. Homestead hasn't been able to capitalize on anything.
There's a ball high. 1-2. Riley Perlich will play his college ball at Wright State next year.
Well, they certainly will be proud that they have him, going to have him on there in their program next year. He appears to have a bright future ahead of him.
Yep, would like to play some first base, but I think he's going there to pitch, and he does strike out Schwartz looking, and that'll bring up Drew Delacusta. Here's the first pitch, just a bit inside. There's one driven into the center field. Cam Fish he comes all the way across, and he'll catch that
Great
ball.
play right there.
Falls on his left shoulder. See if he's all right. He is. He gets up. One heck of a play there by Nate Fish. It looked weird because that was his glasses that went flying off of him as he hit the ground. So,
well, he caught the most important one. He caught the ball. He's having trouble with his glasses, but what a great play right there. He got a good jump, had a great angle, and which allowed him to get to that ball because that ball was hit well in the left center field gap.
So that'll do it for Homestead in the top half of the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no one left on base, and we'll move to the bottom of the fourth with Carroll coming up to bat. And so now we get our little break again here between innings. And, you know, every manager has a different style.
Yep.
I mean, every coach has a different style. Every parent has a different style. But you got to play in the big leagues, and you played for numerous managers.
All different.
All different.
All different types, yep.
And that's where I'm going with this. You know, you play with the Twins, so I'm assuming it was Gardenhire your coach?
Tom Kelly the first year,
Kelly?
and then Gardy after that, yep.
So you had those two, and who was at Boston when you were there?
Terry Francona,
and then
Felipe Alou.
Wow.
And then I played for Clint Hurdle in Colorado.
Wow.
And then my last season with Tampa was Joe Madden.
And San Francisco?
Felipe Alou.
Yep. So all those guys, different type of attitudes and different philosophies, and I mean, you learn so much from all of them.
Yeah, you can take something from everybody. It kind of molds you into who you are. Everybody's different, which is okay. I mean, you can learn a lot from a guy that's a little more of a yeller, and you can learn a lot from a guy that, you know, like Joe Madden, who doesn't yell at all. You know,
exactly. Looks
or
like a professor.
Or Tom Kelly, who wouldn't say anything to you, just wanted you to figure it out on your own. I mean, you learn how to figure it out on your own. So you just, you know, I enjoyed all of them. They were all very good managers, and ultimately helped me, help mold me into sort of the player that I was. And then, you know, of course, now having gone on to teach and coach the game a little bit, you know, helped me to be able to help these players get the most out of themselves.
Jared Shirk's up now. He's quickly up 2-0 on Justin Miller. Back-to-back sliders there for Justin Miller. A swing and a miss. Big swing there. That's a healthy swing on 2-0.
Healthy swing on 2-0, what you'd like to see. The pitch selection, maybe not quite what you're looking for, but the swing was definitely what you want to see.
Yeah, I try to preach that a lot to those guys. If you're going to swing 2-0, I want you to come out of your shoes, basically. You know, make sure them things are laced up.
I'll tell you, we kind of touched on that, you know, a moment ago about playing instinctual. I mean, if you get an account at 2-0, so what if you miss it by 3 feet? I mean, take a good hack at it. Don't be afraid to make an out. You know, generally, if you're afraid to make an out, you're going to make an out.
Exactly.
So I'd like to see good aggressive swings out of him.
Full count on Shirk. Ooh, he goes slider, and Justin Miller wanted that pitch. Instead, it's called ball 4, and Shirk will go down to first base, and that will bring up Hunter Freeman.
Now batting is the right fielder, number 2.
Freeman last time, he struck out swinging. This is where Justin Miller kind of found his groove in that when he went through the bottom half of their lineup last time, and see if he can get back in that. And there's a bunt, a fake bunt.
I think he was.
They called it a strike.
I was wondering. I feel like this might be a situation where Coach Ginder's going to try to maybe scratch one more across and feel like that might get it done for him.
Yeah, the way Perlich's pitching right now. Ooh, there's a good pickoff move over there from Miller to Wilcox. Almost catches Shirk napping. There's a called strike, so no bunt sign on there. So now he's 0-2. Harkness will move back from third base and play normal depth now. You know, that's a good thing about having Justin Miller as a pitcher. He's a great athlete. It's hard to bunt on him.
Very hard to bunt on him. He gets off the mound, and he can cover a lot of territory out in front of him, so it is a difficult proposition to try to bunt on him here.
I like that pitch right there. That was a 0-2 fastball, just a bit outside, trying to paint the black. Good idea.
A little bit elevated.
Yeah.
Might lead to a curveball here, this pitch.
Oh, a good
Great
read
jump
by Shirk. And he's going to be in there easy, and it's called third strike, but Shirk went on first movement and steals second. And now the batter is out, called third strike, a stolen base for Shirk, so he moves up to second, and that will bring up.
That could be one of the negatives to working fast. Sometimes, you know, when you work fast but you have a man on, you got to mix up your timing a little bit so the runners don't get comfortable and time you like what appeared to just happen there.
I think one thing that happened in the game the other night is I think the Homestead batters figured out the signs when they were at second base, because they stole a base and he went on a curveball, and as soon as the pitcher picked his foot up, he just went, and he knew it was going to be a curveball, and I'm sure that's why he got that base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Another slider in there for a strike. 1-1 count, one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Carroll leads Homestead 1-0.
He's thrown a lot of sliders this game, wouldn't you say so, Ryan? I mean,
more than usual, I would say so. But he hasn't had super good command of his fastball. So the runner goes, he swings and hits a foul ball into the bleachers and just over the bleachers in right field.
Finally, we got one went the opposite direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Let somebody else get hit in the teeth.
Exactly.
We've beat up enough up here, haven't we?
I know, and being a third base coach or a first base coach, depending on who's up, is dangerous as well. So the runner at second base. Engels try to hold him a little bit closer. He went on that last pitch. And Miller, he'll turn around and walk him back a little bit there. That time he didn't look at all. I think
might have been a called play there.
Yeah, Shirk knew what he was doing right away. 1-2 count. Would highly doubt the runner's moving on this. There's a fastball, and finally he gets a swing and a miss on a good fastball, and that'll be the second out, and that will bring up Joey Henschel, lefty. And you got to kind of watch Henschel. He probably, he's a good athlete. He can run a little bit, and he could bunt even with two outs.
He could, but it'd be interesting to see what he does here. Third baseman playing back, so if he wants a bunt for a hit, it's there.
Steele probably off now for Carroll, and there's a fastball right at the knees for a called strike. The lefty up, generally you don't run a whole lot if you're at second base.
Well, and two outs too. I mean, base hit's probably going to likely score him. So, and you got control of the game right now, so no need to take a risk.
There's a curveball in for ball one, and real nice job there by Justin Miller that time. His second baseman had gone over. Delacusta did to try to hold the runner back, and he waited for him to get out of there before he delivered to home. I see that a lot in high school baseball where the pitcher just delivers and his guys are standing there at second base and they're completely out of position.
Well, maybe he learned something from us last summer there, Deli.
Oh, here comes another one.
Yeah. That was he showed good baseball IQ there to realize his guy was out of position and wait for him to have time to get back right there.
1-2 count with two outs here, bottom of the fourth inning. Carroll leads Homestead 1-0. I want to thank our sponsor today, Parkview Sports Medicine. Been with us all season long through all of the sports. And there's a curveball in the dirt. Nice block by Isaac Bear.
Great read.
But a good read by Shirk, and he'll get into third base. So a nice dirt ball read there by Jared Shirk.
It was a great read. I mean, he didn't wait for it to bounce either. He was, as soon as he saw that down angle, he was gone. And like you say, Bear made a great block, but he didn't have a chance to throw him out. He got such a good jump.
And there's a shot hit to Delacusta at second. He knocks it down. Is he going to have a play? No, and that will drive a run in. Delacusa to try to make a play on it. He could not. And that drives in Jared Shirk, who wisely moved up on that ball. On the dirt ball read.
Yeah. Dirt. That's, base running is so important. It's so underappreciated and undertaught.
You're right.
To me, in the category of three, pitching and defense and hitting and base running. Base running's number 2 behind pitching and defense, and then of course hitting last. You oftentimes when you watch a game, teams that make base running mistakes end up losing those games, and the ones that take advantage, like in that situation, was a big run for Carroll, being up 2-0 now, and with a team ERA of less than a run and a half a game, it would certainly look like they're well and on their way to a victory. But we still got some baseball to play, so we'll see what happens.
2-0 count on Joey Henschel. I'm sorry, that's Parker Hale. Parker's dad, the pitching coach at Snyder Robb, an art teacher in high school, and he's ahead 3-0 here against Justin Miller.
Art teacher.
Art teacher.
How about that?
Yeah. I didn't know that till a few weeks ago, till I sat down and talked with him. So 3-0, and that ball's going to be a wild pitch. Justin got his cleat caught when he went to throw that. And that's a walk to Parker Hale, and that will bring up Nate Fish, the center fielder who made a really good play to end the top half of the 4th inning for the Carroll Chargers.
I tell you, a lot of times after you make a play like that, it just always seems like you come up and get a big hit. So we'll see if that holds true here. But Justin a little bit flustered after the dirt ball, and then giving up, of course, the second run, because obviously he's aware that at this point in the game they have one hit, and Carroll's pitcher's throwing very well, so he probably has a good understanding that it's going to be tough, and get a big out here for the Homestead Spartans.
Yeah, the last game, Homestead only had 3 total hits against Nolan Lebemoff, who's very good, and then they brought in their catcher, Hayden Jones, to throw the last thing. There's another ball in the dirt. So Justin Miller now up to 72 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And we'll see if he struggles here, if Coach Bile doesn't make a trip out to the mound to try to settle down his junior pitcher, Justin Miller. And there's a high fastball, 3-0. So that's 7 stray balls, and that will bring a trip to the mound. Justin will look a little bit frustrated out there right now. So
his body language has changed a little bit after that dirt ball, and then that led to that second run for Carroll. So probably just going out there and telling them, hey, get it together. We got 2 outs. Get one more. Get us in there to hit and see if we can't get some runs to tie this thing up.
His defense hasn't been an issue in this game at all. We have no errors at all for either team. So let them hit the ball and see how far they can hit it. You're at the 9-hole. Although Nate Fish is not your typical 9-hole hitter, he's got pretty good pop down there in the bottom of the lineup. So Nate Fish batting .229 on the season, 12 RBIs. So you've got a pretty good bat down there. And there's a fastball. Called strike 3-1. We'll see how Nate Fish approaches this. Will he swing at this? Because he knows if he takes it, they get to take off on the next pitch. And here's the pitch, delivery, and he swings and hits it in the hole. Hingus comes up with it, but Brady Hartness forgets to cover third base, and that's an infield single for Nathan Fish.
I'll tell you what, Deli, I mean, there was going to be no chance at first base, but third baseman there kind of had a brain freeze. It appeared if he would have played the play throughout, they probably would have been able to backpick the runner at third here and get out of the inning. But as it is, face another hitter.
And not a guy you want to face, Langston Ginder.
Not at all. Hitting .472, having a great year. Not a guy that strikes out very much either, with only 5 strikeouts and 53 at bats. So I look for him to put the bat on the ball here, so we'll see if Miller can get him to hit it at somebody.
It looks like Justin just having some footing problems a couple times now that he's landed out there. Langston Ginder 1 for 2 today. He's got a double, and he struck out in his last at bat on a pretty good slider that was thrown to him. And he'll be looking dead red here. That's a good spot inside, but it's called for a ball. 2-0 on deck, the dangerous Hayden Jones. Here's the 2-0 delivery by Justin Miller. He comes in there with a fastball. It's hit, fielded. Oh, it hits I believe it hit Parker Hale in the back, and that'll be another infield single. Looked just like the last play.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a tough break. But that's what happens. You put the ball in play, things like that happen. Just a couple of tough plays for the shortstop there, and unfortunately hits the runner there. It probably would have got the guy at third.
And that'll bring up Hayden Jones.
Not at all who you want to face in this situation. Down 3-0, the bases loaded.
And he struck out and ground out in this game, batting over 500 on the season. And there's a slider in the dirt. Isaac Bear can't find it. This might be 2 runs if they doesn't hustle after it. So on the pass ball, another run will score, and it's now 4-0. Carroll over Homestead.
Yep, you're good. No, I'm fine.
Hayden Jones, once again, he's up to bat here. Can do some serious damage here with one swing. And there's a slider in and called a ball. 1-1 now to the dangerous Hayden Jones. Riley Perlick waiting on deck.
Hayden's going to be looking for a fastball right here.
Oh, yeah. You can kind of see him load up right there. And he got
the only unfortunate about the pass ball is that there's a base open, so he doesn't really have to throw to him. But so far, Hayden's showing good patience.
Now Justin Miller and Isaac Bear not on the same. I don't even think Isaac Bear gave a sign there. He just stood there and made him wait. Miller will reset now. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. There's another slider. Nice pitch. Fouled down the third baseline. Harkness will go over and get it and toss it back to the pitcher. 2-2.
Certainly took a little something off of that. It appeared to catch that just off the end of the bat.
Okay. Get lined up. Yep.
He gets another slider. Look out in the dugout.
Ugly finder.
That was
right
definitely an ugly finder right there. And Justin Miller now up to 84 pitches.
Would have got me right in the chest if I'd have been in that dugout. You know?
Oh, for sure.
That's why I'm on the radio. Face for it.
He gets another slider, and it's hits him. So that will be another runner on base. Bases loaded now, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Riley Perlick. Justin Miller not real happy with himself right there.
Well, I'm not sure how that hit. I mean, that appeared to be a pretty
good pitch.
Yeah, I don't know how it hit the batter. So, nonetheless, Justin's got a lot. He's getting up there in pitches, so this could be.
He goes high fastball there on Riley Perlick, and he's not biting on that.
Carroll's showing good patience with Miller so far. He's been a little erratic, although he had a couple innings there where he seemed to find it, but
got him.
Got him.
And they pick off Hayden Jones, who gets too big of a lead over there. So it's a called strike, and then a pickoff at first base, and that will do it for Carroll in the bottom of the 4th inning. They get 3 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 3 on base. That'll do it here in the 4th inning. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching live high school baseball on SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, the expert physicians at O&E, the area's only specialized athletic rehab, and the region's industry leader in sports performance, AWP. The roster coordinates your care in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in your community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Big inning for Carroll. They get 3 runs to take the lead over Homestead 4-0 here at Carroll High School. Riley Perlich finishes up his warm-ups, and another low throw there by Hayden Jones, and rolls into center field. And leading off now for Homestead, they're in the bottom half of their lineup, be the number 7 hitter, number 17, their left fielder, Cade Colpine.
I think Miller's got to be he's got to feel a little bit frustrated because a couple of unfortunate things, and not really loud hits, if you will, and then here you are down 4-0 with, a couple of infield hits. That can be frustrating, but
Colpine hits up to the shortstop, Langston Ginder. He'll pick it up, fire to first, and he's out.
Pretty good swing by Colpine there, just right at the shortstop. Nothing you can do, but they get they can put a couple of those together, and maybe just get across one. Just at this point, just trying to get across one to sort of build morale, if you will, or maybe try to boost the confidence. We'll see.
Harkness takes a little check swing at it, and he'll foul it back. Quickly down 0-1 to Riley Perlich. Riley Perlich with just a 2.3 ERA this season, .023, excuse me. So he knows how to pitch, and that would be a strike. I wasn't sure it was a strike. And down 0-2 early here to Riley Perlich. You see a couple guys starting to move down to the bullpen now for Carroll.
I'll tell you, Perlich, I mean, he's looked comfortable pretty much the whole game. I mean, the way he's moving, it's the same pace. Everything's been consistent the whole game, and as a result of that, he's only given up 1 hit, and he's got his team out to a 4-0 lead at this point.
Here's a 2-2 fouled off, and you go back to that last half inning for Justin Miller. That kind of all started on that dirt ball read by Jared Shirk, and then
it did.
And the wheels kind of didn't really come off. It just unfortunate things began to happen to him.
Yeah, it was certainly a string of, after that, then two infield singles in a row, and the third baseman doesn't cover, and then the ball hits the runner, and then it can be frustrating, understandably, but it certainly seemed to go that way.
And there's another one
after the dirt ball, which can understand the frustration, but at the same time, that's part of that mental game that we were talking about, where you got to go to the next pitch.
Looking at another foul ball that came at us, and there's another one slapped into left field. That's carrying, and it's going to go foul. So Harkness now seen about 6 or 7 pitches in this bat, and just trying to work something with a full count. Might have to shut our windows with all these foul balls coming at us.
We'll see if the right fielder gets on that line a little bit more. He's been consistently hitting it that way almost every at bat.
Harkness with a full count here. Riley Perlich now up to 72 pitches. And there's a ball inside for ball 4, and Harkness draws a walk, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Justin Miller. Miller last at bat, tried to bunt, he got it right back to the pitcher. And Justin's got to be careful if he hits one in the gap. He's got to know who's running in front of him. Not a real speedy guy in front of him, so if he gets one in the gap, he's going to have to keep his eyes on Brady Harkness in front of him. There's a good fastball in. And it's real difficult for Justin right now because he's got probably thinking about his pitching. That's why I like to DH for the pitchers a lot.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sometimes having to do both just kind of overwhelm you a little bit. You know, it's kind of what we talked about last summer was guys pitching. Let's let him just focus on his pitching and not have to worry about too much.
And there's a ball hit back up the middle. Ginder will field it. He'll go to second, and they'll only get one on that. So ground ball to short for a fielder's choice at second base. And that'll bring off the leadoff hitter, Nick Davitt. Justin Miller now at first base. And there is a chance now, if you can get one in the gap, he could score all the way from first base.
Definitely, or down the line.
Yeah.
Miller could definitely, you know, he's got enough speed, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got that opportunity if they took a chance and tried to score him regardless.
Now we see Brady Harkness. He's running down to the bullpen to get loose for Homestead. There's 2 outs, and the batter, Davitt, and he will take a called first strike. Over at first, you got Justin Miller with very good speed. And Riley Perlich takes something off of it, and it's popped up. It looks like it's the third baseman, Jared Shirk, going to get underneath it. He'll catch it, and that will do it for Homestead in the top of the 5th inning.
I think he just took something off the fastball there, Deli. I mean, which is a great idea. You don't have to throw your fastball as hard as you can every time, and it clearly he was a little out in front of that, which caused him to pop it up. So nice job by Perlich right there.
Yeah, and then no hits, no runs, 1 left on for Carroll. They trail 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. This game moving right along, as we've only played about an hour and 12 minutes at this point. So with all your stops in the big league, what was the okay, so you're in Minnesota and Tampa Bay.
Those were the bookends, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You had heat and freezing cold. What was it like in Minnesota?
Well, we had
April?
the dome in Minnesota, so it was okay. But it
you
was
still
cold.
had to drive to the game.
Still had to drive to the game, so it was pretty cold. I loved Minnesota. I mean, I just thought, you know, the fundamentals are so important at every level, and even at the big league level, and you know, in Minnesota, that really the focus is really just do the things that you should be able to do, and then anything else that you can do extra is gravy. You
right.
know? But it was a lot of fun. The fans are great. Of course, they got a nice new outdoor stadium now that's grass instead of that old AstroTurf that beat me up for 3 years. But I enjoyed it there, and of course, playing for Joe Madden was a treat. I mean, he's a different kind of guy and a different kind of manager. So. You know, between him and Gardenhire, I mean, opposite ends of the spectrum. So I had fun in both places, but Minnesota I enjoyed. But really, you know, if I had to pick one, you know, the atmosphere in San Francisco was the best. I mean, right there on the bay, and the stadium was beautiful. The weather was perfect. It's maybe about like it is tonight outside, really, and which is a blessing for players because you don't get sore when it's the cooler it is. You know, you don't get as sore as you do when it's hot. So.
Yeah, I can imagine that being in the domes. You got a lot of domes in your career.
Yeah, Tropicana wasn't the best place, but.
There's a first pitch, ball to Riley Perlich.
Hit my first home run in a dome, Toronto.
Awesome, at Sky Dome.
Yeah, that was exciting. I didn't mind the dome, but I always preferred outside, of course.
There's a swing and a foul ball down the first baseline. We get a lot of people listening to us now. In fact, the other night when this game was going on, there's a ball in the dirt all the way from Australia. They were watching our game.
Oh, is that right?
That's right. My wife's uncle, Andrew Christian, was watching the game as he sat at home in Australia on Tuesday night. Well, it would have been Wednesday there.
I tell you what, I played with 4 guys from Australia, 5 guys from Australia. A couple of them in Grant Balfour.
Very good.
Trent Durrington, played with in the minor leagues. Joe Thomas, left-handed pitcher, had some time.
And right there's that athleticism we talk about with Justin Miller. He got over there pretty quick as the ball was hit to Luke Wilcox at first base. And he knocked it down and was able to pick it up and throw it to Justin Miller.
I said Joe Thomas. I meant Brad Thomas.
Brad Thomas.
But, yeah, great play by Miller there. Very athletic. I mean, it's very obvious from the start watching him on the field.
There's a ball a little bit up. He's up to 93 pitches. So it was interesting. I got home. My wife's like, yeah, my uncle's watching the game all the way from Australia.
That's fantastic. I've never been, but I sure would like to go.
A good shot there by Jared Shirk as he hits a line drive into left field for a single. And that will bring up Hunter Freeman. In fact, my son in 2 weeks, my oldest boy, will have to start watching the games from Australia because he will be moving there.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, he's going to work for a rugby team.
That's fantastic. I want to ask him if it's true that the water in the toilets go the opposite way over there.
It does.
Is that right?
Yeah, my wife's from there, so she tells me all the time and about Vegemite sandwiches, which are disgusting.
They are. I have to agree.
Yes.
I hope that, no offense for those of you in Australia.
So he leaves on the 17th and will arrive there on the 19th and get to work. And
that's exciting.
It is. We'll live in Sydney. Here's the 2-0 by Justin Miller. He throws a 2-0 slider in the dirt. Bear blocks it. Throws a bullet to second base. Wow. What a play by Isaac Bear.
I'll tell you what, that was a good read, too, by Shirk. But Bear just, I mean, he threw a rocket down there right on the money. And great throw, great play by him.
Wow. So that gets Shirk off the bases. Now 3-0 to Hunter Freeman. That's ball 4. This might be the last batter for Justin Millers. He's pushing that 100 pitch mark. He's at 98.
Yeah, I would think he's probably getting close. He looks like he might be getting a little bit tired. His arm's starting to drop a little bit, which is going to cause him to not have as much command with his pitches. But we'll see if he can get a big out here and get his team back into hit.
Now batting Blake Castetter, the left fielder. And he'll take it up high. No loss for velocity on that one. It was just up.
Pretty good lead at first base here.
Good pitch. Now Bear will throw it back, and he's got to be careful there. If you and I did what he just did, we'd be done for a while.
Well, I have to call that helicopter over at Parkview to come get us.
Because he about did the splits there, throwing the ball back to first base.
Yeah.
I definitely would have been at the hospital. Well, I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, something, anything. Not on the field.
Yeah, do that.
1-1, 2 outs here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Carroll leads 4-0 over Homestead.
Pretty aggressive lead over there. I wonder if he might be going.
Here's the swing, or the pitch. It's called strike. 2-2. Excuse me, 1-2 now. See if maybe they put something on here, because as he's been ahead in the account, he's thrown a lot of sliders. And this might be a good time to take a chance if you're Hunter Freeman over at first base. And he does go, and there's the pitch. Swung on and popped out down the first baseman line, and that's going to go out of play. So Coach Ginder thinking the same thing I am, getting a bit of a tendency on the pitcher now. And that's why he has 2 state championships.
That's right.
Yep.
Very well coached team, Carroll Chargers.
Snap throw to first. Almost got him.
He did almost. He's got an aggressive lead over there. I mean, he's wanting to go. There's no question about it. If he had a hang move here, I bet he could get him.
There's a high fastball. It might have actually been a pitch out. A little bit up and away. I actually saw a pitch out called a strike this week in a game.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a little different. Not a lot of happy people in the stands.
I bet not.
Swing and a ground ball to second base. Delacusta, he'll come up with it. Throw to first. and that will do it for Carroll in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Delacusta picks it up, throws it to first, and that's how it ends. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on, and we'll move to the top of the 6th. We'll take it to, we'll stay right here for action. Right, that's right, we're in the middle of an inning now, not the bottom of the inning, so we won't take a timeout yet. You know, with the pitch counts, we talked a lot about that last year. Where do you keep a kid in pitch counts? And, if you got the stats from their high school coaches, you could certainly know whether they've been overused, moderately used, not used at all. In a lot of kids' case, if they're sophomores or freshmen, they probably hardly haven't been used at all if they've been playing varsity. So what do you think is that good pitch number? I know Justin Miller now is up to 103 pitches. I'm sure I bet his day's done.
I would be kind of shocked if it wasn't. I mean, a lot of times you can just tell by their mechanics, like Justin's arm's starting to drop a little bit, which indicates he's getting tired. And, sometimes, these clubs don't have access to, ice and being able to take care of their arms very well. So, I think 80 pitches is probably a good number to really kind of cap it at. I know that I would get a lot of pushback on that, but for me, it was I just don't ever want to sacrifice a kid's future for one game. Even if it's a big game, it's just not worth it. But watching their mechanics and maybe a bigger kid, you can throw a little more. But
Perlick with another pitch right at the knees on Matt Anderson, and he's down 1-2. So yeah, I've watched a lot of these games. I keep score from my son's high school games a lot of times when we're not doing this on SummitCitySports.com, and you just see these guys get to about 80, and it starts to drop off right there. The real sharpness in their game, and I kind of feel that's probably a good number.
I would agree. I think that's probably the max number, to be honest with you. I mean, and then you add in, they're not as physically developed as they will be, and so, their small muscle groups in their elbow and their shoulders probably aren't built up quite like they could be. So that makes a lot of sense. That once they get around 80, they seem to sort of taper off a little bit. I mean, that's certainly, I think, what we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with
summer.
You completely.
I like that they implemented this new pitch count rule.
Anderson will draw a leadoff walk there. Good at bat. And a speedy Matt Anderson on, and that'll bring up the catcher, Isaac Bear. So Ken Homestead mount a comeback here, trailing 4-0 with their final 6 outs left in this game.
Well, they're running out of time, so, they got the meat of their order here, so it'd be a good time to, hopefully, or for them, hopefully, cut it in half at least.
Perlick now in the stretch, and he'll deliver. Fastball in, and it hits Isaac Bear. So we'll see if that brings a trip to the mound. It does not, and that'll bring up Luke Wilcox. Number 11 will be the courtesy runner now for Isaac Bear. Malik Wurgis, he'll go in and run. It's a lot of speed on the bases now for Homestead. Will they go bunt here maybe? I mean, I know you don't generally want to do that in this situation, but
I was just thinking the same thing, and I'll tell you, Wilcox 10 hits on the year and 10 RBIs. So he's made them count, and if he's not bunting here, maybe he can make this one count.
Now we see some action heading down to the Carroll bullpen. That's Gavin Vogt. And there's a sharp line drive, and that's drifting back. And now there's a tag up by Matt Anderson. He doesn't go back on the fly ball right away and doesn't tag up. And he'll be stuck there at second base on the fly ball out to center field to Nate Fish.
Wow, I mean, it could be they got their work cut out for him with Perlick, but that could be a costly base running error right there, Ryan. I mean, ball hit deep to center. You'd like to think both runners could have moved up on that one.
Yeah.
Second and third with one out here.
Yeah, definitely. Even if Matt Anderson goes, the backside runner is going to tag and go too, and you would have two, but maybe he just didn't read that real well off the bat, and so that will be the first out in the inning by Wilcox. Quick trip out to the mound by Dave Ginder. Gets his all the instructions in here now with Riley Perlick, who's up to 85 pitches. Gavin Vogt down in the bullpen for Carroll. Got action in the Homestead bullpen as well. First and second, one out here. Top of the 6th inning for Homestead. And now Schwartz will bunt it, and nobody goes after it, and he will have an infield single on the bunt. And that was Riley Perlick's ball there. I think he may have just forgot what bunt defense they were in.
Well, he put that in a good spot. I don't. Third baseman was covering the bag. I think he probably would have had the best chance of maybe catching it, but that was a pretty good bunt right there. A good idea. So we'll see if Della Custa can come up with a big hit for his team here.
Yeah, anyway on is what they're saying. There's a nice off-speed pitch, curveball in there for a called first strike. 0-1 count, bases loaded. Homestead with just 2 hits in the game. Della Custa gets one, and we've got a new ball game. There's a ball down and away. See how long they stick with Riley Perlick here, who's now up to 88 pitches, and it would look like Gavin Vogt down in the bullpen. He's getting loose a little bit quicker now. Perlick in the stretch. There's a pitch that swung on and hit to right field, and that'll go out of play for a foul ball. And the count now 1-2 to Drew Della Custa.
Yeah, Gavin did speed up down there. He doesn't need a lot to get loose. And of course, he just threw one down in the infield, so we might get a stoppage here.
But Austin Kressel will run out there and get that ball. Here's a 1-2 delivery. Fastball up and in on the hands, and Della Custa fouls it off again, stays alive.
Hit that one out of the mitt, Brian. Yeah. He might have been looking for off speed there. Huh?
He sure did. Runners at first and second. One out. Here's the pitch. Takes something off of it. Hit on the ground to the shortstop. Ginder, he flips it to second. They'll try for two. Oh, no, they call him safe.
I have to agree there. I think he was safe there. I know they probably wanted the out, but good job of hustling out of the box there and got his team a run, and maybe something they can build on here if they can get a big hit here.
Now batting is the left fielder, number 17, Cade Colping.
Colping had a nice at bat last time. Wow, upset brewing it with Lures and Northrop tonight.
Tech, yeah.
At Indiana Tech, with Lures leading big over Northrop, 10-1. Here's the pitch, a little bit outside. Once again, if you want to follow Summit City Sports, they've got a Facebook page, SummitCitySports.com. Follow them on Twitter at 260sports, and subscribe to their YouTube channel if you want to see all the live action from around the area, or if you want to watch a game tape delayed. Here's a pitch in, and that's a ball to Colping, who's up 2-0.
The count here. We'll see if Colping lets loose, if he gets something that he's looking for, see if he can drive one.
Here's a 2-0, and he takes something off of it, and that's a called strike. You know, that's a tough one when he takes that much off of it. Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, he quick pitched him and took something off. A very veteran move right there by Perlick.
Colping looking a lot better at the plate this year than he did last year. A lot freer with his swing, and Perlick will step off, and he'll reset. Colping, a good athlete, plays on the basketball team, and here's the pitch, up and away, and it's 3-1 to Cade Colping. And Riley Perlick now up to 95 pitches, and it looks like Gavin Vogt's ready to go down in the bullpen whenever they need him. We've got 2 outs. Here's the 3-1. He takes something off of it, and a good healthy swing there by Colping. And now a full count. The runner at first will be off on the pitch, so he's got to make sure he goes home here. Coach Bile just yelling the same thing I just said to his runner over there at first. Colping with a full count here. And now, Della Custa. Bog got
he didn't
caught out there, didn't he?
I don't think Perlick believed it. You know, maybe if he would have snapped over there, he might have had him.
Here's the payoff. Swing and a foul ball, and another good swing by Cade Colpine.
Certainly not getting cheated here. I mean, he's trying to drive something. You can't blame him. You know, he probably take a pretty good shot to get 2 out of this one.
Colpine, a good, strong athlete, been well built since his younger days, and he's taking some hacks here with a full count. There's ball 4, up and away, and we'll see if we've got a pitching change here as Brady Harkness, he'll come up to the plate. Harkness kind of slapping at some balls last time, kind of timing him up. He's got a chance here to do some damage with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, 1 already across for Homestead. They trail 4-1 with Brady Harkness coming to the plate. It looks like Gavin Boat's going to continue to throw in the bullpen as Riley delivers here. And his pitch is up and away, and that's usually a sure sign when your pitches start going up that you're getting tired.
He's starting to get tired. He does appear to be laboring a little bit. It's always it's tough to bring in a guy with the bases loaded, but that might be what Coach Gender's thinking here.
And there's a fastball right on the corner for a called strike, and now it's 1-1 to Brady Harkness. He swings at that one and fouls it off. 1-2 to Brady Harkness. It's obvious they're going to work him away as much as possible.
Yeah,
the way he flies open a little bit right there.
He does. Flies open a little bit, and he's had a little bit of trouble timing the fastball throughout the game. But 1-2 here. See if he can't get his team a big hit.
Bases loaded, 1-2, 2 outs. Perlick's delivery. Curveball in there for a called 3rd strike. A good pitch. And that does it for Homestead in the top of the 6th inning. They get 1 run on 1 hit, leave 3 on, and that will do it for them. For Homestead, they trail 4-1. We will take a quick time out here at Carroll High School. You're watching live high school baseball on SummitCitySports.com.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Play football. And we're back live here at Carroll High School. Homestead gets one across in the top of the 6th inning and now trails 4-1 to Carroll as we have a pitching change as Brady Harkness, he is the new pitcher now for Homestead. So Harkness to pitch. At third base, we've got number 22 now. Don't have a number on 22.
Ladies and gentlemen, some changes in the Homestead lineup. The new pitcher is
That's
number 24, Brady Harkness.
Davitt now playing
Nick Davitt is moved
third base, and Justin Miller, the pitcher, will now move into the outfield,
right field.
into right field. So our new pitcher, Brady Harkness, and he will have to face Joe Henschel, the first batter. And I got to think that with these changes coming here, that maybe Dave Gender may think about a bunt here to start this inning because you got a new pitcher, you got a new third baseman out there. And here's the windup, and the first pitch is called outside. So Harkness replaces Miller. Miller gives up 4 runs, 7 hits. And there's an off-speed pitch in there for a called strike.
Little change of pace here with Harkness on the mound. Fortunately for Carroll, they've out to a 4-1 lead, so we'll see if he can get him out of the inning and give Homestead one more shot here.
That was a nice changeup right there.
Really good.
Yeah. He'll go change up again and slap to the shortstop. Ingles will pick it up, throw it to first in time, and that's the first out for Carroll. So
I'm not sure he wanted that location there, Ryan. That one
A little bit up.
I don't know if he wanted to come back with another changeup for a strike right there, but nice job by the shortstop there making that play and getting the out.
It looks like we might have a hitting change here. Looks like number 27, Grant Braun. He'll come in and hit for Parker Hale.
Gentlemen, a change in the Carroll lineup. The pitch hitter is number 27, Grant Braun.
Braun replaces Hale. Grant Braun, typically a starter in the lineup for Carroll, bats .275 on the season, and he'll face Brady Harkness.
5 doubles on the season, so
that tells you we have a pitching. That tells you we have a pitching change coming as well, because Riley Perlich will move over to first base. So Gavin Vogt is evidently ready to go, or will they bring Hayden Jones in to close the game? So Grant Braun now he'll bat his first at bat of the game. Harkness delivers. Ball a little up. 4-1 is the game right here with Carroll leading Homestead 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And there's another changeup. Boy, if you can catch up one of those in the middle of the plate.
I tell you what, but Harkness doing a good job of coming in here and throwing strikes, which is what you want to see out of a reliever. Of course, I say that, and now we're at a 2-1 count. But
yeah. So in the outfield now, they've got Cole Peen, Matt Anderson, and the starting pitcher, Justin Miller, moved to right field. There's a nice pitch. Gets another one on the ground. Goes through the legs of the third baseman, Davitt. And that will be an error and a runner on base now for Carroll.
Maybe a tough play. It would have been a pretty good play there, but probably one he's made before.
And now we'll have I think this is just a re-enter situation. I think Parker Hale is back out base running. So we'll give Parker Hale the chance to get back in the game. There's a pick over there. So now Hale back in the game. He'll be running. Here's the pitch. It's low. And now they catch Hale off the base. Quick throw over there. And now they got him in a rundown. And there's and Wilcox drops the ball, and Hale will be safe at first base. That ball just bounced straight out of his glove.
I mean, hit him in a bad spot, right in the glove.
Yeah.
Right in the glove there. I tell you, it just seems like they've had, a few breaks like that, or a few things like that happen to them in this game, Ryan. That's just really kind of put them behind the 8 ball here.
So Harkness delivers, and there's a bunt. Pulls it back, another snap throw to first. And Hayden Jones is going, I believe, down to I don't know if that's Hayden Jones or Shirk. Certainly not Hayden Jones.
No.
I think that's Shirk down there getting warmed up in the bullpen for Carroll. Swing and a miss by Nate Fish. And it's 2-1 now to the center fielder. Another changeup. He has got a nice changeup. They can't pick that up at all.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a hurry to hit and not having a little trouble staying back on it. I'd keep throwing it.
Yeah, they pick over there, try to get Parker Hale again. They don't get him that time. 2-2 count here. See if Coach Ginter puts something on here. And there's a quick pitch. Full count now to Nate Fish.
Yeah, I think they understand that they can't afford to give up another run, really, at this point.
Full count. See if the runner goes. He does, and there's the pitch. It's low, ball 4, and he can stand up going into second base. And I'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Langston Ginder. So now you're in that dangerous part of the Carroll lineup that can really drive some runs in. Langston Ginder 2 for 3 today with a double and a single and a strikeout.
Now batting is the shortstop, number 2, Langston Ginder.
We'll see. He might be happy to see a right-hander here.
Yeah, sure.
Miller gave him a little bit of trouble, so.
Harkness now in the stretch. He'll come home. He throws another changeup, a little bit low.
I tell you, as a Carroll hitter, you would think, as he's throwing his off speed quite a bit, it certainly would make sense to for your plan to kind of go up and sit on that,
Absolutely.
if you get one.
Yeah.
So far, it doesn't appear that they've done that, but if somebody does, they might run into one here.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Ooh, couldn't have missed by much. Looked like another changeup. Runners at first and second, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Carroll. Here's a delivery up, and 3-1. And Langston Ginder he's a pretty disciplined hitter, and he's going to wait for his pitch for sure.
Yeah, he's very disciplined. I mean, he only strikes out 1 out of every 10 at bats, which is very, very good. So he's certainly going to make him throw him what he wants.
We've got a timeout by Langston. I'm sure all Ginders were very disciplined hitters. Their father, his uncle, his cousin that plays on the team, all disciplined hitters. I'm sure they were born, and the parents said, "You will be a disciplined hitter."
You will be straight away.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the first.
There's a good off-speed pitch. Oh, and it goes through Delacusta's glove. He throws to first, and he's safe.
Wow. Again, and just another little miscue with the bobble there, and now you got Hayden Jones again with the bases loaded, which is not something you're looking for, but see if you can't.
Yeah, and he's had 4 batters ahead of him to see all those changeups. There's a curveball in the dirt for ball 1.
They seem to be pitching him the same way every at bat. They've let him off with off speed every time. See if Hayden's onto it, and when he gets one, lets it fly here.
There's another one in the dirt. 2-0 to Hayden Jones.
I'll tell you.
A guy like this, you either want to go way in or away. You know what I'm saying? You leave some in the middle, and he showed that in the last game. They left Parisi left one in the middle, and it got yanked over the right center field fence.
Well, I think, whichever one is going to give you the least damage, because
exactly.
he's a good hitter.
And there he did go inside.
Hitting .561 on the year. Good indicator that there's not a lot he can't hit. Which one is the least damage is probably what you're looking for here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mississippi State's really going to like him. There's one. Lined into the left center field, and it's going to be caught by the outfielder, Cade Colpine. And so no tag up there. I'm not sure he could have scored on that anyways. So a line drive out by Hayden Jones, and that's the second out of the inning.
No, it's pretty shallow there, but there was an example of what we talked about earlier with instinctual. The runner at third is looking at his coach.
Yeah.
And when he, instead of the guy catching the ball, so he probably couldn't have scored, but
and that pitch was in. He inside outed it out there, and there's a pitch away. 2 outs, bases loaded for Riley Perlich, who stands to get the win in this game if this is the final score. Got Parker Hale here at third base. There's another off-speed pitch. Ball 2.
Yeah, that center fielder he's a little deep, so anything up the middle has a good chance of falling here.
Harkness and Bear getting the right sign here. I see him shake one off. Here's the pitch, fastball for a called strike. 2-1, 2 outs, bases loaded. Carroll leads Homestead 4-1. A hit here would kind of get this game blown wide open, to be quite honest with you, with just 3 more outs left for Homestead. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and driven into center field, but right at Matt Anderson. He will catch it, and that will do it for Homestead. Or, excuse me, for Carroll in that half inning. He lines out to Matt Anderson in center field, and that will do it. They get no runs, no hits, 2 errors, 3 left on base. And we'll take a quick timeout here as you're watching live high school baseball on SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionists, the expert physicians at O&E, the area's only specialized athletic rehab, and the region's industry leader in sports performance, AWP. The roster coordinates your care in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in your community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
And we've got a pitching change here for Carroll. On the mound now, Gavin Vogt. Gavin Vogt comes into this game, a right-handed pitcher. Got no line on him. He's got 2 innings pitched, a 0 ERA. So he'll come in and he'll face Justin Miller to start the game. They're buddies in the offseason as they play on the same high school team, summer team. So Vogt to face Miller. These two roomed with each other pretty much all summer long at all the tournaments they went to. So these two have good familiarity with each other. We'll see what Vogt starts him off with. 4-1 lead here. Coach Skinner probably just told him to throw a lot of strikes. Here's his first offering. He throws primarily out of the stretch. Very rarely will you ever see him throw out of the windup. You know, a lot of schools like him because he's not super tall, but he does have very good velocity.
He does have good velocity. I tell you, his ball moves a lot more than you think as well, and it moves a little bit late, so he gets a lot of hitters to mishit the ball, and he's another one that works fast, throws a lot of strikes, and great athlete off the mound as well.
Yeah, very good football player as well. So if he's down in the zone, he is really hard to hit, and there he goes with an off-speed pitch. It's called for a strike. His slider is tight.
His slider is very short and tight.
Yep.
Much like Miller's. They actually kind of mirror each other, you know, right and Vogt being right-handed though, but I'm sure that Justin's thinking right now that the last thing that he wants to do is give Gavin bragging rights.
Yeah. So they'll spend the whole summer together again this year. And here's the 2-2 pitch. He goes slider up and away. Full count to Justin Miller. And Gavin, you know, he loves to pitch.
Loves pitching.
That's what he loves to do.
Not the backstop.
Here's his full count pitch, and he walks him. Good at bat for Justin Miller. So Homestead has something going here in the top of the 7th inning with their leadoff hitter on bat, and that will actually bring up now their actual leadoff hitter, Nick Davitt, number 22, who's playing third base right now. And Vogt going to see a steady diet of lefties here for a little bit. You know, Gavin Vogt getting some looks already by some colleges as a pitcher. I know last year when we had him down in Georgia, they actually asked for him to pitch.
They did. He had a little he was having a little issue at the time, had some shoulder soreness, so they didn't have his best velocity, but he's back full strength now, and you know, in my opinion, he's definitely a guy I would look at for my ball club.
And there's a called strike. You know, and a lot of the perception is in summer ball is they want to see the pitcher throw 5 good innings. They really don't.
No.
They want to see 2. Get through the lineup once.
2 innings, maybe 3, and you know, it doesn't take them long to, you know, to figure out, you know, where he might fit in with their team.
Swung on, fouled off.
I'll tell you the other thing too is they don't look at they don't look at stats either.
Not at all. They never once did they ever ask for them.
I've talked to many, and never one time have they ever asked for stats. They just see what kind of ability you have there.
A lot of them want to see what kind of teammate you are.
But most importantly, what kind of teammate are you? That's correct.
There's a nice slider in the dirt, and he'll hit it down to the first baseline, hit right to Riley Perlick. He'll field it. Did he get him?
He didn't touch him.
It didn't look like well, we have a really bad vantage point over here. So, little ground ball to the first baseman.
A for effort, though, trying to avoid that tag.
That's right. So Miller advances to second, and that will bring up Matt Anderson. Now you were talking about muscle build. This kid's already got it all.
Matt, Matt is very well put together young man.
And there's a called strike on the inner half.
I think Gavin's aware that right now the 3-run lead is just about getting outs, here. So he's going to look for him to fill the zone up with a lot of strikes here.
He goes slider away, and that's ball 1. And Homestead, looks like they've got another guy down in the bullpen just in case. I'm sure both of these teams play this weekend. This is the gauntlet part of the season for high school baseball.
It is getting down.
There's a nice slider.
Getting close to the postseason play. Time to start firing on all cylinders here.
Yep, absolutely. Sectional's just around the corner. Want to get your guys healthy and ready to go as you have to get into that part of the season where you got to play a lot of games in 3 days. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Matt Anderson. Fastball swung and missed, and that's the second out now for Carroll.
Really good fastball there by Gavin Vogt. I mean, just reared back and basically blew it by Matt Anderson right there.
Homestead down to their last out. And Isaac Bear is up. He's got one of their hits tonight. Justin Miller still at second base. Here's the pitch. Another nice, boy, his slider is really sharp today. Even though that was a ball, boy, that thing broke late.
Okay, it's all finished on the backstop. Okay. Gotcha.
I'd like to see him challenge Bear right here. Can't beat him with a home run or anything, but
right, exactly.
Bear's been swinging it good the whole day and just missed that last one, his last at bat. So I'd like to see him challenge him right here, 4-1 lead.
Another slider in there for a strike, swing and a miss. Strike 1-1. Bears last at bat. He was hit by a pitch. He's got a single in this game.
Fastball up here, Deli. I'm calling it.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? Huh?
I think he's gonna do it. And there it is. It's up and away though. 2-1.
A good idea. 2 breaking balls, 2 previous pitches. Throw one up there. Probably come back with the breaking ball right here.
Wilcox to follow Bear if he can get on. Miller at second. Here's the delivery. Fastball in there. Called strike on the inner half. And now 2-2. Down to the last strike is Homestead. Don't be shocked if Hayden Jones doesn't call for the slider right here.
I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah. Hayden Jones has good command of his pitching staff.
Probably in the dirt. Yep, definitely.
And there it is. And it's away. Ball 3. Full count to Isaac Bear.
Tell you what, maybe I should be hitting right now. I
Yeah.
called a couple of them right there.
And then
on to him.
If Isaac Bear can get on and a Wilcox comes up, that would be the tying run at the plate here in the top of the 7th inning for Homestead. Here's a full count pitch. Fastball swung and missed, and that will do it for Homestead. As Isaac Bear strikes out, and that will end the game. No runs in that inning. 1 left on, no hits. We'll take a quick time out here from Carroll High School and be right back with the closing segment of today's broadcast. You've been watching live high school baseball from Carroll High School on SummitCitySports.com.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I am a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at Parkview Mom.
And we're back here live at Carroll High School, where Carroll wins the rubber match between Homestead 4-1 tonight behind a strong pitching performance from their senior Riley Perlig. He gives up 1 run, 2 hits in the game, and Carroll beats Homestead 4-1. So a real good play game, fast-paced. Justin Miller takes the loss for Homestead. Didn't pitch too bad, only gave up 4 runs and 7 hits in the game, and he'll get back to the drawing board. He's a gamer. He likes to play the game of baseball, and both teams will get back on the horse again this weekend, as they will play probably double headers coming up this weekend. So 4-1 victory for Carroll over Homestead. I want to thank Dustin Moore, former Major League player, for being my broadcast partner today. I love having these guys in here that know baseball.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed this. I mean, I had a blast. I appreciate you having me here. This was a lot of fun. I tell you, I was really impressed with Perlich today. I mean, he showed good poise, and he pitched. You know, he wasn't just up there throwing. He had a plan. He stuck to that plan because Homestead wasn't able to show him that they were onto it. And,
Ever.
You know, that just makes it simple. It's not about tricking people, and he wasn't trying to trick people. He changed speeds with his fastball, mixed in his breaking pitches when he needed to, and really kept him off balance all day. And then, yeah, Miller didn't have his best game, but you know, a couple of little things that just kind of mounted up, and then, you know, led to a 4-1 defeat. So it was kind of tough breaks for Homestead, but well played game, and wow, really impressed with you know, the discipline and the way that Carroll Chargers went about the game. I was impressed with Homestead too. It just, Perlich was just too much for him.
He was dominating. I mean, you said it early right away that when he went with this fastball, they could not catch up to it. We had a lot of foul balls hit over our way. So good job by Riley Perlich, the Wright State recruit. So good win for Carroll, the number 5 ranked team in 4A, and both teams will just look to get ready for sectionals from this point on. Stay healthy.
Absolutely, that's the most important thing. I mean, at this point, you know, we know as coaches, you don't want to. You want to have your best 9 out there, and you know, this is one game they can learn. Homestead will learn from this one. Carroll will build on it, but yeah, I mean, right now you got your sights set on sectionals and getting yourselves ready for postseason for sure.
So that'll do it once again here from Carroll High School, where Carroll defeats Homestead 4-1. We'd like to thank all of our technical guys today. Got a guy to my right. He's a little dodgy of foul balls coming his way because it's his first time doing baseball here. I'd like to thank our cameraman out there, Jeff Mahoney, and a special thanks to Parkview Sports Medicine, our title sponsor. That will do it here at Carroll High School. Carroll defeats Homestead 4-1. Thank you for watching live high school baseball on SummitCitySports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I am a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionists, the expert physicians at O&E, the area's only specialized athletic rehab, and the region's industry leader in sports performance, AWP. The roster coordinates your care in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in your community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com.